Okay lads, we've got Cry playing as the Plague Champion on Fedrid Folly, a really good map for the Plague Champion because of this elevated terrain on the top over here and the two VPs being so close together. And he's going to be going up against Mr. Interesting. This is a rather long game, so I'm hoping it's going to be a treat, and that's why it's here for you beautiful patrons today. So thank you very much, folks. I appreciate the support. Though I must admit, I need to find a way to get more patrons, because it's been quite stagnant for a while. So, don't do a foo-foo and hold me by the balls with threats of I'll unsub from the Patreon if you don't X. If you don't shag a sheep, I'll unsub from the Patreon. If you don't play against Ordo Malleus in League, I'll unsub from the Patreon. Screw you, foo-foo, with your blackmail. Anyway, Mr. Interesting versus Cry. Cry is actually being the more interesting player right now, in that he isn't going for a second unit. Okay, he's going for double CSM. Wow. Very weird build against Eldar. I hope he's going to follow it up with Raptors. That's what I can say. Get Mucus Discharge on the PC. Oh, the special attack. Oh, feels bad, man. That was so lucky on the Warlock. Yeah. Big oof indeed. You're talking like 0.25 of a second longer. The Plague Champion. Ah, he missed the Destructor though. Luker. Deserved for the Luker. .25 of a second earlier. And the Plague Champion would have caught that. Obviously no gens for Cry yet. CSM here going to meet the Guardians. That is a fight the Guardians definitely do not want to take. Yeah, it's going to be an instant retreat. In theory, they could have maybe backed off and got in the garrison, but even in the garrison here, they can't really shoot from the garrison onto things capping the VP. And if they're in green cover, they're still going to get wrecked by CSM. Too powerful. Perhaps if they had their grenade upgrade for the 33% extra HP. Rangers coming out from Valerio. Now, I actually believe this was a league game. So that could explain the fast Rangers here from Val. Tryharding. I'm sure you guys are well aware at this point. Rangers are quite blatantly overpowered at the moment. Aspect coming in on the Banshees, not quite here yet. Going to be supported by some Rangers which are getting their long rifles. Also don't have them yet. The fleet goes in. Do we have an aspiring champion on the Heretics? We don't. So this is actually a really good fight for Val. Now the thing is, Val doesn't know that there's no aspiring champion. But there isn't an aspiring champion. Oh wow, he retreats, yeah. So Cry won the bait there, basically. Ah, he has Mucus Discharge as well, actually, so that actually probably was a good idea that Val retreated. With the Mucus Discharge on Heretics is actually really, really good. Check out the DPS right now on the hero. Look at that. Can't even get the decap on the wreck. These guys are cracked. Nice positioning there from the Heretics and retreat path. Trying to get a bit of a flank here on these. Wow, needs to be so careful with the Plague Champion. Kinetic Pulse there going to be saving the Guardians from any retreat model kills from these ticks. And just some harassment here from the Warlock. Basically just running around. Oh wow, dodged again with a worship. I don't know if that was to dodge the Destructor or what. Yeah, this is a beautiful engagement here. Should be able to actually just melee down the Banshees, to be honest, especially with the damage over time of the Plague Champion. Quite lucky on the specials here from the Warlock, sending things flying. But the range of DPS is so substantial. I mean, it really would justify Crying going for the Raptors. I really hope he does. I like Raptors with double CSM and with the Mucus. It's just a naturally really strong combo. So I guess a lot of bleed being inflicted here onto Val. Because you would typically expect the Eldar to be getting a 5th unit out right now, but that's clearly not happening. He lost He lost a few models on the Banshees. Doesn't feel like it was crazy high amounts. The inevitable grenade spike from the Guardians. Mucus there only healing two of the models, missing out this other one on the side. The CSM and Ticks go cap that. No aspiring champion. It's going to be a Fastech from Cry. Interesting. Wow. So one of the weaknesses of Eldar, and also, by the way, of Rangers, is their slowness in terms of gem bashing. So Fastechs can be quite strong. So he's got this contested node captured and noded, and this one, and of course the full gen farm. So now we've got an Immolator Warlock. This is one of the best tools actually for gem bashing, interestingly. Not so much the ability. The ability's okay, but it's not great. He really could have done with actually trying to bash that. Yeah, you see, I mean, it does something, but it's not crazy good. But there's damage over time from both the melee and the range attacks on this blade, and that damage over time is really strong against generators. It will do more DPS in melee, but both can be effective. So, channeling runes. Oh, this is quite nice actually. So, he's doing nice range damage whilst he's channeling his channeling runes because of the Immolator. You'll see the stats there if you want to pause it. It's got a damage over time on the range attack, which makes it a lot more effective. And yeah, just help the Banshees approach all these bolters and not bleed too much, but they overextended a little bit, and Cry's doing a really good job right now just delaying. These guys, they've got no chance of realistically actually getting a gen bash off. But they're delaying, they're pushing the forces away from the gen farm of Cry, splitting up the enemy. And the grenade there killing a Heretic and a Guardian. That's better for Cry than anyone else. Aspiring champion coming in for the CSM. Fast Blood Crusher is on the field. Man, look at the HP on this guy. It's like a full HP aspiring champion. But here is the Blood Crusher. Rangers can't DPS that down. Val's only just going tier 2 now, basically. So he's got to somehow rat. Yeah, just going to send the Blood Crusher straight to the gen farm. There's nothing to contest it, of course. Free to just DPS down these generators. Banshee's catching CSM out here, but the CSM do have their aspiring champion. It's pretty good melee fire, and look at that. Absolutely wiped the floor with them. I assume they've got Eternal War as well because of this. Yeah, they do. Look, there's no plus sign above the CSM, which indicates that this CSM squad with a plus sign has Eternal War. Oh, also they've got Glowing Bolters. I always forget about that for some reason. So, yeah, that's why they just dominated the Banshees. I'm not sure why the Rangers are not shooting the Plague Champion right now. The Rangers could literally just kill the Plague Champion instantly. Now they turn around. And Cry didn't react in time. That was a really weird play from both sides. I feel like Cry was just waiting for the Rangers to set up and then just retreat instantly so he doesn't die and make them waste time setting up, but it went on for so long without them doing it. Cry then probably clicked to move his Blood Crusher and wasn't paying attention and lost it, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, the Aspiring Champion was the first guy to die there on the CSM squad. How sad. It's normally some Banshee shit, that. Losing the Exarch first. So, yeah, the Blood Crusher was never even able to finish his full gen bash because he re-diverted across to this side. So now he's going to continue that bash. What's Val going to do about it? Val is obviously going to be very low on power for a while. How much has he got in here? 72. This could be a dead Guardian squad. Probably wants to move the CSM, I was going to say move them down and into retreat path so that they could activate their melee, pulling out chainswords and all that jazz once they've activated Slaughter. Now they're going to do that. As you can see, ripping apart the Guardians. Here comes an Autark bomb. CSM retreat out of it, but there's the Autark now on the field. Going to be a decent little grenade and retreat path because of CSM. Autark is going to be pretty nice here, actually. Not only is she a... Wait. Oh, yeah, fusion gun, because he doesn't have anything to kill a Blood Crusher. Well, yeah, you can kill the Blood Crusher with the fusion gun, then swap back to the Executioner Blade afterwards, but... I'm not sure. I really don't like the fusion gun. It's just such a shitty weapon. 30 DPS melter. I guess with the Howling Banshees as well, it could do something. I'm not sure why he didn't just jump on the Banshees to give them speed and damage boost. That seems a bit odd. Oh, and here comes the Noxious Cloud. Oh, nice combo there. Oh, beautiful. Now can... Okay, he's not gonna use the stun from the PC. Look at this, guys. This is high-level gameplay right now. Counters the Noxious Cloud entirely with the Channeling Runes. Hilarious. Warlock needs to be extremely careful right now. I couldn't even list all the combos that were going on fast enough. It's just one ability came out, then another one, then another one. So yeah, Autark, pretty interesting choice here. I like it. You've got a jump unit, right? That's melee by default. Obviously not with the fusion gun, but with her Executioner Blade. So that's good for just tying up the CSM. But her jump heals, boosts the speed of, and the damage of nearby troops. So if you jump near to your Banshees, you're going to give them a nice boost when they're in melee as well. Furthermore, she has the passive ability Scorpion Shield, which will increase the damage resistance from ranged attacks to nearby troops. So against double CSM, which are obviously outputting a lot of DPS now that they're fully upgraded in their... well, without a mark, but they don't need the mark. In fact, Slaughter CSM will do more to light infantry than Mark of Tzeentch CSM. So just something to consider. Basically, it's a lot of piercing DPS coming out into these light infantry Eldar forces. That Scorpion Shield from the Autark could be quite useful. It's very inaccurate, this thing, isn't it? Look how often it's missing. Why does it miss so often? What's that all about? Is it bugged? Look at this. Why is it so inaccurate? Now, it doesn't miss these generators. Was that just a weird level of coincidental luck? It's always hitting the gens. What? Guys, what's going on? You've seen how much it missed that power node. That's really strange. Not sure what to make of that. Okay, Isolated Banshees definitely needs to get out of here. Cry is continuing the Fastech. What the fuck just happened down here? Oh my god, it looks like a grenade just obliterated that CSM squad. I wonder if that was... No, it can't be in a Kinetic Pulse combo. There was no Kinetic Pulse. They've got full energy. Don't know what happened there, but somehow the CSM just got obliterated by a grenade. Blood Crusher's just chasing around the Autark. Obviously a single source of AV, not very good against a melee vehicle. It's just going to get tied up, right? Which is why Val's now going for a Warp Spider squad, but... I'd probably have gone for Fire Dragons, to be honest. More actual AV against the Blood Crusher, and also Fire Dragons will do more DPS against the heavy infantry armor of the CSM, and they'd be good against anything else that comes out other than Bloodletters, which Warp Spiders will be better against. But of course, I know that Cry's in tier 3, so I'm thinking Terminators, which obviously Fire Dragons would be great against. Warp Spiders, not so much. So I'll have to see. If Cry goes for a Predator, I'm going to be shocked though. This is now a good amount of AV. You've got your Haywire Grenade on the Warp Spiders to stun. You've got the Melter on the Autark. You've got the Heavy Melee on the Banshee. There's a lot going on right now for Val. So you have to assume it's probably going to be Terminators. Maybe Lightning Claw, maybe not. Lightning Claw Terminators are so awkward in 1v1s. You know, all it really would require is Val going for a Wraithlord afterwards, and then those Lightning Claw Terminators are going to be pretty mediocre. What? Cry just called in Chosen Plague Marines. So he basically ditched his tier 3 play. He could have obviously got these guys in tier 2, and he could have got them a lot earlier. Now, one thing to consider is that when Cry went tier 3, he had 2 CSM. He lost the CSM when he was I'm not sure. He might have either already been tier 3 or very close to it. So he'd kind of committed to it at that point. He delayed any tier 2 purchases that he was going to be getting. So perhaps since losing the second CSM, he felt, ah, shit, I'm losing too much here. I can't win the fights. I'm bleeding VPs. Look at the VP lead now for Val. It's getting quite significant, especially when there's a 2-0. So he felt, I'm going to have to just call in a CPM squad. So Chosen Plague Marines it is. I mean, good against the Banshees, but it kind of justifies the Warp Spider purchase now. Warp Spider is one of the best squads in the entire game in terms of piercing DPS. Come on, Artak, chase that fucking thing. Chase it. Has she used Fleet? Come on, chase that thing. She is a fast lady, and she actually kills it with a fusion gun. Beautifully done. Nice to see the Artak fusion gun putting in work. Now you see he can swap that out for an Executioner Spear, and she's going to be a pretty fearsome melee fighter to support the Banshees. I really don't like these jumps from Val. I'm not sure if he's even aware of the buff that the Artak jump gives. Really should not be jumping her in just randomly for mobility like that. The buff that the jump gives is massive. AoE heal, bonus damage and bonus speed. That's something, and now retreats her out. Very weird. I guess the retreat actually is fine because he's going to rotate her over to here. Really wants to get the Executioner Spear, I think, on that Artak at this point. She's not going to be able to solo Heretics otherwise. She should be able to with the... Oh my god, look at the range DPS from this blob. I mean, it might all be piercing DPS onto heavy infantry, but that is a lot of piercing. And of course, there's these overpowered high damage rangers. But yeah, double fully upgraded Guardians, a squad of Warp Spiders, one of the highest piercing DPS squads in the game, and Rangers. I'm so confused about this Chosen Plague Marine choice. Chosen Plague Marines are elite anti-melee, but there's only the Banshees, and now Cry's going to be going for a Predator. I really feel like he should have got Terminators, and then he could go for the Predator afterwards. Terminators were pretty good. Rangers will do good damage to Terminators, as ironically will the Fusion Gun, in spite of me shit-talking it, but Terminators are tanky enough. They should be able to shrug it off and bleed the Eldar and keep him in the game. Val at this point has basically been dominating the fights, and Cry is the one who's bleeding way more. Way more. Do we see Armor of Pestilence on the PC? Why can't I click him? Yeah, we do. Okay. So he's very, very tricky to deal with now, this Plague Champion. A lot of extra max HP, immunity to knockback as well, but in spite of that, this Eldar blob a little bit too elite right now. Predator tank is coming out. It's getting the Mark of Nurgle, which... Mark of Nurgle, really good anti-infantry tank. The damage over time and its sponsored bolters, very effective against infantry. The damage over time from the cannon, it's nice. Well, it's not technically a damage over time, but an AoE damage in the area, rather than on-hit effect damage over time like normal. But the problem here is that Val has actually managed to get to tier 3 and replace his gen farm entirely, so now Val can get a Fire Prism, and the slow-moving Predator tank, the Nurgle Predator tank, it loses speed when it gets that upgrade. That's going to be so vulnerable to a Fire Prism. And normally the Fire Prisms, you can just hunt them down with a really fast tank, because tanks... Fire Prism is speed 6.75. Ordinary mainline battle tanks are speed 7.25. Oh, what is Val doing? I'm going for a Guardian's Weapon Team. Don't do that, Val. Don't do that. Just wait. Node this and get a Prism. It's not urgent. You've got the VP lead. This is a huge mistake from Val. Shouldn't be wasting his power getting a Bright Lance. The Bright Lance is not good against a Nurgle Predator. It does too much. It's got that damage over time. Wow, look at the XP it just got from killing them. Guess it was the only thing that did damage to them. It's just got too much health. The damage over time is really good against setup teams, you know, planting the poison in the area where the setup team are. You've got line of sight blockers up here and stuff. Like, the Bright Lance isn't going to achieve anything. Okay, what is he doing? He's going for Wraithguard. Look, Wraithguard are good against Chaos Predators, but why did you go tier 3? You didn't need to. So to go back to what I was saying earlier, Prisms are 6.75 speed. They have lower HP than your average tank, And average tank's a 7.25 speed, so obviously your average tank can just hunt down a Fire Prism 1v1, just charge it, if there's no other AV. Now obviously Val does have AV. He has a snare via the haywire grenade of these warp spiders, but nonetheless, having a normal tank would have been a pretty good counter to a Fire Prism, but a Nurgle tank with a reduced speed, I mean, you see how slow this thing is. It has no chance ever catching the Nurgle Predator and beating it 1v1, so it's just going to be the Prism at max range, taking pot shots at this thing. A Prism would have been beautiful. You know, you're CCing the Plague Marines. I mean, Wraithguard pretty helpful here, but I don't know. I mean, it makes the tier 3 rather pointless. You know what, guys? It's been so long since I've seen Wraithguard in a 1v1, it's unbelievable. Literally feels like it's been months. I mean, the Nurgle Predator's scared, and rightly so. The combination of Haywire Grenade snaring a unit and then Wraithguard shots on the snared vehicle is pretty scary. Especially when you're slower than normal because you're a Predator tank. In an Eldritch Storm! Wow, the commitment to kill this Nurgle tank. Will the Storm hit it? No, it will not. The Bright Lance is set up in a terrible position, and the Chosen Plague Marines are going to get into melee with the Wraithguard! Oh no! Val! Okay, yeah, send the Banshees against this fucking tank. Does have melee resist. Heretic's trying to move in and repair this thing. Probably should use Touch of Nurgle. And then the tech switch to the warp from mid-engagement, flinging the Chosen Plague Marines away. And the Banshees actually get the Nurgle Predator, thanks to how much it was weakened by the Wraithguard there. That was turned into a very tricky engagement from Val because of a very poor placement of his Bright Lance there. If he placed it here, so he had both arcs, he might have had a better chance. Or of course here, covering this way. But it's alright, he got the Nurgle Predator. And it very much feels... Okay, now Cry is just being weird. Now he's going for Bloodletters. He's got ample red for Terminators. I don't know what he's doing. He needs to just go Lightning Claw Terminators at this point. Val's build is completely a infantry build. Obviously Val at this point could get basically whatever he wants other than an avatar. He could get a Fire Prism, he could get a Wraith Lord. Ironically, once again, the Wraith Lord is probably the best option right now, so Val never even needed to go tier 3 in the first place. I guess he wouldn't have had the Eldritch Storm, would he, if he didn't go tier 3, but... It's a testament, I would say, to the mediocrity of the Eldar tier 3 and also the strength of its tier 2. That said, the Fire Prism would also have been fantastic against that Nurgle Predator. Wraithguard was a really interesting choice. I didn't consider that. It's just so rare to have the combination of Wraithguard and Warp Spiders. That combination is such good AV against tanks and transports though. Brutal against super heavy vehicles as well. Because Wraithguard, they're shit at hitting moving targets. But once you snare the moving target, well, you're mitigating that weakness in many, many ways. Val's getting an avatar. I think Val's got this. I don't know what Cry can do. He is a Plague Champion, so he can put turrets and shrines up on this ledge here, but... Look at the size of this army from Val, and as much as, you know, the early game Eldar infantry don't scale great, Banshee's just generally lacking the durability to stand up to a lot of late game troops. Dire Avengers, sorry, Guardians, only having piercing DPS, it's not amazing, but they've got levels, and there's just a lot of them, and they still do a lot of damage. Now we've got Cloak of Shadows on the Warlock. Ooh, Warlock might go down here, will go down to the Plague Champion. Killed by the Power Fist. CPM getting into melee over here. Not really a good target for the Wraith Guard at this point. They're really bad against melee because they can't really hit moving targets due to the wind up on their shot. Now ranged units obviously want to stand and trade with you. Melee units don't. So it is going to be Chaos Terminators, but at the same time there's an Avatar. Let's see how they fare. Now obviously if the Terminators go for Lightning Claws, they will shred an Avatar to pieces. I guess that's the play. But then if I see Lightning Claw Terminators, I would be going for a Falcon. Giving it a energy shield in tier 3 and just shooting at these fuckers. Where did the Autark go? I just realised she died at some point. I don't even know where. That's sad. I like seeing the Autark. I think she's a really underutilised sub-commander. God knows why she's a sub-commander. Why'd you make the Eldar Autark a sub-commander? Not an actual hero. So weird. Let's see, this is a big engagement coming out here. Whirling Doom going to initiate onto the Heretics, disrupts their worship, but the Banshees going into melee here is not really ideal. Getting rid of a lot of HP here onto the Terminators, but now they're just going to be worshipped again. Look at the Wrath of Cain. Going to cause a little bit of disruption, nothing major though. Avatar's going to hunt the PC. Good idea, I like that. Oh, what's he doing? No, kill the Plague Champion! Avatar, what are you doing? Oh, for God's sake, Val. I don't understand what that was all about. Now we've got Webway Gates coming down. Should force off the Warlock here. Oh, wow, really lucky special there from the Warlock. Great timing. Val's keeping the Warlock in play as well. Damn. No upgrade on the Terminators. I don't think he has the power. I'm not sure how much power that is. Another Whirling Doom coming down. This is going to hurt. Kills a few ticks. Did actually less damage to the Plague Champion than I expected. The Avatar's actually putting in some great work in melee here. Please, Avatar, just get rid of this Plague Champion, man. So little resources right now for Cry. I don't understand why the Avatar is not killing the Plague Champion. Just kill the Plague Champion. It's 2 hits and he's dead. What the hell? So weird. So he lost the Banshees there. Oh god. Khorne Chaos Space Marines. Can he get a nade spike? Nope. Maybe. He's trying to bait it out. Ranger DPS is just so fucking good right now. Probably wants to just tie up the Rangers in melee, to be honest. Oh my god, Val, you're triggering me. Kill the fucking Plague Champion. Okay, we've got a Bloodletter squad with 1 model here, so that thing's dead. Okay, now kill the Plague Champion, please. He's so low on HP. Could have killed him ages ago. I was just letting him smack him in melee. What is he doing? Just kill it! Oh my god, Val! What the hell? Just let him heal with mucus. Just kill this Plague Champ. Oh my god. Thank you. Khorne Chaos Space Marines over here. Killed the Rangers. Now get a decap and have to retreat. Potential for a grenade on the retreat path. Val isn't watching. He's watching this fight here. The Avatar falls to double CPM. Oh no, is Cry gonna win? On 15 VPs? He's got the shrine being built. The shrine does percentage-based healing. Look at Val's trolling with these close-range Webway Gates and the Wraith Guard. So annoying to deal with. State Council have arrived. That's the Eldar late-game melee superiority. Let's see how they fare against Chosen Plague Marines. That's a tier 2 melee superiority for Chaos. Chosen Plague Marines so far getting minced up, but now there's a second squad moving in. Not ideal. Wraith Guard are helping. But here comes a shrine. Now Cry can, of course, worship that shrine, make it heal twice as fast, and crucially, reinforce even his Terminators. The percentage-based healing really going to be helpful for the Terminators. That's a lot better than a flat healing, obviously, because these guys have such crazy amounts of HP. Oh man. Wraithguard will be actually a really good tool to take out the shrine if they're allowed to shoot in melee, without being meleeed. They will kill it very fast. There's the Immolator Blade too, so... Oh wow, Wraithguard just annihilate a Terminator. Well, look. Oh, another Eldritch. Man, this is a crazy game. I knew this would be a good one, guys. Dodges the Eldritch for the most part, catches the edge of these heretics, but will kill the shrine, which is actually really important, probably worth it. KCSM are going to be able to take this VP there. Val is slowly running out of VPs himself. He's only down to 80 VPs. Touch of Nurgle is on the Plague Marines down here in combat with the Seer Council. Just trying to ignore this Touch of Nurgle one. Dire Avenger's just going onto the cap here. Doesn't feel like they're going to be able to get the cap before they get killed by the AC ticks. Literally just the Warlock alive, what the fuck. And he loses the Seer Council. He lost. Oh my god. Oh, Val. How did you fucking do that, bruv? Mr. Interesting, no. Late game micro-capitulation here from Mr. Interesting. I don't know if Cry was trolling this entire game, but his build orders felt like trolling, man. What a cool game, though, guys. We've seen some really crazy shit. Beautiful war gear switching between the heroes. Lots of combos. Wraithguard putting in work. Fusion Gun Autak putting in work. Avatar putting in work. Damn. Mark of Nurgle tank getting killed by Banshees in melee? Of all things? Crazy game. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Thank you for being patrons. Torpid signing out.